I've read the book partly by the former governor of Kashmir, Mr. Jagmohan, who was the governor at the relevant point of time when there was an exodus of Kashmiri Hindus from the state of Jammu and Kashmir. His book called Frozen. In fact, I read the 12th edition. It's an extremely important book. Chapter 6 of that particular book, which is titled Roots, Article 370, where he traces the origin of the current dispute and the current controversy in Kashmir to Article 370. That's an important book to read. I'm just giving pointers for research so that people know what to read once they go back, because I'm sure I can't capture this particular topic or do justice to it in an hour or 2 hours. I have ammunition for 7 hours now, but I know I have to keep it for 2 hours now. So point number 2 is a fantastic book, even though I disagree with him on a lot of issues, by Sri A.G. Noorani on Article 370, on the constitutional history of Article 370. That's a book that is a must read. Whether you agree with a certain position or not, it's always important to know, let's call it the opponent's position, and then argue, even if it makes for difficult and perhaps cringing reading. But be that as it may, somebody's written, somebody's done their research, and they presented their point of view. It's important to read and then respond. 3 is a book that I did not know existed until 2 weeks ago when I ordered it and then I started reading it. It's a fantastic book by Srimati Radha Rajan, where she effectively captures the unknown history of Article 370 by a document, through a document, a 22-page document, authored by Mr. Ramachandra Kak, who was the Prime Minister between 48 to 50 of Kashmir under Sri Hari Singh. And what was his point of view with respect to the undercurrents and the dynamics of the politics of 370. So that's a very important read. In fact, it's astounding research. It gives you a ringside view of what exactly was happening at that point of time. Apart from that, there is a beautiful book, runs into about 344 pages on this website called iKashmir. You may not want to read the opinion pieces written on that, depending on which side of the fence you stand as far as this issue is concerned. But they have compiled all the legal documents relating to this, starting from the Treaty of Amritsar of 1842. So that is, in fact, 344 pages during the court. Of course, we keep waiting for matters. I try to read it as much as possible, and I've tried to assimilate it. So that's one important resource. The good part is it captures right until the UN resolutions and thereafter, all of that. So you also have to read, when you read Article 370, you have to read the Constitution of Jammu and Kashmir of 1956, because these two go hand in hand. And if you look for Article 35a in any bare act of the Indian Constitution, you will never find it, because it comes as a consequence of the Presidential Order of 1954, where the Constitution was, or certain provisions of the Constitution were applied to the state of Jammu and Kashmir. These are different things that I've read. Then, of course, there's a paper on integration of states, a white paper which was released in the 1950s, when India was being formed, so to speak, by Mr. Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel and his right-hand man, V.P. Menon. So this is another book that you must read. There could be several other books, but this has been my primary research. Then, of course, about 16 to 17 judgments of the Supreme Court on Articles 35a, on Article 370, and on application of different laws of India to Jammu and Kashmir, which involves necessarily a discussion of Article 370. So these are several different judgments. One of the earliest judgments starts in 1959, Premnath Kaul versus something. You start with that. And then right until the 2016 judgment of the Supreme Court, I think this was on the issue of application of the SARFACI Act to the state of Jammu and Kashmir, where an analysis of Article 370 was necessary. So I've tried to read as much as possible on this, and at least 35 to 40 documents, important documents, which I felt were extremely important.